Welcome to Crafty Little Beach. This is Julie. Today I have a Dollar Tree DIY for you.
I thought we could use these adorable little chunky, I guess they're called breadboards, from the Dollar Tree, and three of the little Dollar Tree wood signs and a plunger handle. And I thought we could build a toolbox that we could fill with flowers for spring. I've seen some really pretty flowers in toolboxes, and I thought, that'd be really kind of fun to try to make. But I've actually seen these for sale at the Target Dollar Spot since I made this. So you could cheat, I guess, but it was really kind of fun to put this together. Now, the plunger handle is a great dowel for $1.25. The only challenging part is getting that sticky sticker off. So I'm just going to use some heat and a blade, and we're just going to scrape that off. Now, since all of this is going to be raw wood, you could like stain this. Probably do it now if you're going to stain it or use Antique Wax by Waverly. I'm going to paint mine, or you could leave it natural wood. It's really pretty. But that is the advantage of using all of this real wood stuff. And I love how much wood stuff they have at the Crafter Square anymore. They're really bringing it for us crafters, and I appreciate it. Dollar Tree, I see ya. So I'm just going to remove the hangers from these three signs. They make those signs in two different sizes. I think that this is the smaller one. It's a perfect size for this DIY. I need one for the bottom and then one for each side. I'm just going to stand the little breadboards up like that, and it's going to make the perfect sides for a little toolbox. Now, I'm just using Gorilla Glue hot glue. I find that it works really good for wood. You could always use wood glue if you'd like, or you could even nail or screw this together if you wanted yours to be really heavy duty. But we're just going to use hot glue here. And so I just try to keep that as square as I can. And just trying to clean up this second one, we're going to do the same thing here on the other side. And can you kind of see how it's coming together? These are like the sides of the toolbox. And then I'm going to put another sign on the front and the back, and the plunger handle is going to be the handle for the toolbox. It's kind of a small one, but it was perfect for what I needed in my entryway. So I'm just kind of making sure everything looks square, and then we can go ahead and start attaching the side. Now, it's not quite as long as the sides as that breadboard. Just trying to decide exactly where I want it. It's okay if there's a little gap at the bottom, because I'm not going to be putting any dirt or anything in there. If you were, you would probably want it to be a little bit more secure there. But I'm just going to hot glue that to this breadboard side, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other. I'm not going to worry about the holes in this side. It's just going to add a little bit more character to the toolbox. And if you wanted, you could even probably put nails in those. So that looks pretty good. So now once the glue dries, we can just flip this over and do the same thing on the other side with that third sign. Now I discovered it'd probably be easier just to put the hot glue on the sides of the breadboard, but don't do like I did, because I put way too much. I forgot that it was taller. So I'm just trying to clean that up while this is drying. And we have pretty much the main structure of the toolbox built like that. Now it is time for the handle. I'm going to use the plunger handle, and the only thing I'm going to need to do is figure out how long it needs to be. Now, if I were smart, I would measure, but I never measure. So I'm like, I'll just put this on here. I'll just draw a line with my pen. I'm going to take it to my saw. I'm going to cut it. It's going to be perfect. But I should have measured, because look, it was a little bit too short. Now, if I wanted to use screws on the end, I could have probably made it work, but I just cut off another sliver of that, and we're just going to patch it and pretend like I measured. Too busy crafting to measure. So once I get it painted, you'll never know that I did that. So I'm going to try it on now to see if it fits. And it fits like a glove. Now I do want that to be glued in, so I'm going to take it out and Just put a dot of hot glue on each side and put it back in there before the hot glue melt or sets up. And there is our little toolbox for flowers. My plan is to fill this with tulips for spring, and I think it looks really pretty. I told you guys before that I was going to paint it. I'm going to display this on a blue table in my entryway, so I'm going to do ivory um, and kind of make it look coastal and distressed in the process. And hey, I have a plunger laying around, so I might as well use it. Works great for holding paint. So we're going to use just ivory acrylic paint and a brush. Basically, I'm going to paint anything that's going to be visible, the handles, the sides, even like the tops of the signs there on the sides, anything that you're going to be able to see. But otherwise, I'm not going to paint the inside and stuff like that, because why paint it if you're not going to be able to see it? So just painting this all over. And again, I think this would be really pretty if you wanted to stain it some or something like that too, because you'd bring out all that beautiful wood grain in the wood as well. Just kind of doing a rough and dirty coastal coat. It's okay if some of the wood shows because I'm going to distress it anyway. You know me. So just making sure I have a pretty good coverage. I also sanded down a little bit just because the breadboard was cut a little rough and the signs were cut a little rough in some areas. Just trying to clean it up a little bit. And I like to sand to distress anyway, so we're just going to kind of sand all over until it looks a little bit cleaner. And it also gives it a nice light distress on that paint. Now I do want to distress it further, so I'm also going to use some Antique Wax by Waverly and like a little chippy brush from the Dollar Tree, and just working in one direction, I'm going to distress, going over with a baby wipe to kind of remove the excess. I just want a light distress, especially around like the edges, kind of any details. That really gives me that coastal vibe or feel. To the ivory, if you feel like you use too much, you can always go back with your original color and distress it some more. And then I'm also going to do the same thing on each side of our toolbox. Now I'm going to use fake flowers for this, so I'm going to use a floral foam inside. I found some really beautiful tulips at the Target dollar spot, and I thought they'd be perfect for this. So using some Dollar Tree foam, we're going to try to fill this up. It was a little bit bigger than my foam, but that's okay. We will just kind of piece this together with one of the skinnier blocks, just cutting that down to size. We're going to make this work. I love this floral foam from the Dollar Tree because it's so easy to cut. And you know, you can make about anything with it. I've even made buoys out of this floral foam just because it's so easy to carve. Okay, I thought this would be a good time to use some reindeer moss to line the top of it. That way I don't have to go back and try to fill this in after I put the tulips in there. So just kind of doing a layer of reindeer moss all over. This older gentleman at the Dollar Tree had to tell me a joke when I bought my reindeer moss there the other day. He said, "Do you know how fast those reindeer are? We have to like try to catch those to get the moss off of them." I gave him a cute little ha-ha. Now these are the tulips that I found at the Target dollar spot. I love the colors and I think they're going to be perfect. I love that there's blue ones. And they're prettier than anything that I've seen at the Dollar Tree, because I've never really seen like a pretty tulip at the Dollar Tree. Post in the comments below if you have. Maybe I've just been unlucky. But I really wanted tulips for this. I thought that would be perfect. So I'm just kind of trying to space them out evenly, alternating the colors up like that. Now I didn't want it to look like too symmetrical, so the other ones I'm going to kind of go in and try to like put them in the gaps in between the ones on the other row, the back row, just for a little variety. So about halfway in between I'm going to put one, just to stagger them a little bit. Just kind of mixing the colors up. So I'm going to use like one less on the side because I did that, but I like the variety of it. And that's it. Our little spring toolbox filled with tulips. I love this DIY for spring, and I hope you do too. Now I'm just putting a little bit more reindeer moss in there just to make it look super full. And this is how it turned out. Isn't it pretty?
And I have seen that you can get like a little bit better quality of the tulips from Dollar Tree recently if you wanted to try it with the Dollar Tree flowers instead of the Dollar Spot tulips.